Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Shyamsundar Prabhu, you can sing Radha Madhav, Jai Radha Madhav, please. You are mute, Prabhu. Shyamsundar Prabhu, you are on mute. You're mute.
Everybody can sing with me. So let's.
Yeah. So
sing
first,
the
Prabhu,
Jai
can we do introduction, or will introduction after you sing Jai Radha Madhav?
I think let me sing the Jai Radha Madhav.
Okay, go ahead, Prabhu. Then when before the class, I'll introduce.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Chanavallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana.
Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajana Ranjana.
Yamunatira Vanachari
Natira Vanachari.
Yamunatira Vanachari
Natira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We're very fortunate to have a very senior devotee, Shyamsundar Prabhu, with us today for our Sunday Love Feast, Columbus, July 18, 11:30. A little introduction of Shyamsundar Prabhu. I don't know whether you remember me. I met him a few times when there is a temple presence meeting happened in Houston. And also before we started our new temple, we spoke to him. He gave a very valuable insight about the new temple, what to do, what not to do, like, based on his experience. You remember that, Prabhu? We had a couple of sessions with you.
Yes, I remember.
So his guest Shyamsundar Prabhu is he lives in Houston. He was here. He's one of the longest temple presidents in the history of ISKCON. But recently, last year, he voluntarily came out of that and then for a special other services. Now, just a little introduction about him. He started visiting ISKCON temple in 1986 in Houston, and he started chanting 16 rounds same day, and ever since, that is 1988, and Prabhu took initiation from His Grace, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, who was a direct disciple of Prabhupada, and he was a direct, not only disciple, was very intimate very close to Prabhupada, Tamil Krishna Maharaj. Shyamsundar Prabhu is a direct disciple and also spent a lot of time with him under his guidance. Then he was being trained by Maharaj. And Prabhu took a second initiation in the following year, 1983, 93, 92. And then this is actually, I was counting, 28 years. 28 years Prabhu has been a temple president in Houston. It's very humongous task. Many people 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, but 28 years, and still you could have gone that somehow he voluntarily stepped down. I'm sorry, Prabhu. And then currently Prabhu is serving a DT department and taking care of the devotees, devotee care in Houston. During his time of BBC, he assigned some of his specific duty to help other temples like Phoenix, Arizona, which is. And then Prabhu is very down to earth. I spent some time with him and very detailed. One day I saw him in the restaurant. He was doing some menial services, and we had temple president meetings going on. He was there and he was doing the menial services. Even there was a leader setting a good example. Thank you, Shyamsundar Prabhu. There's a lot of devotees in also watching you on YouTube, and there's some are in the Zoom, and people will be joining as we talk. And in this class will go up to 12:30. After that, question answers based on however long you want. Having said that, now Prabhu, please take it over from here.
Okay.
And then we devotees, we humbly request if you can open up your videos, we appreciate. If you're not talking, please mute yourself. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Navin Prabhu, for the kind introductions, which I don't deserve it. I'm not a qualified person, but I think it's mercy that you asked me to share something, what I have learned in my life. So it's my pleasure to be with you all. And we will share some of the things that our Acharya has left behind for us to dwell on it. And maybe we can get inspired and put in our practical life. So that would be the goal for today's class. Before I start speaking, let me make some prayers to our Guru Parampara. Om Agyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruvayo Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhestam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tisai Namaha. Nityanandam Aham Nomi Sarva Anandakaram Param Harinam Pradam Devam Avdhuta Shiromani. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priya. Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vaishnava Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Tamal Krishna Goswami Iti Namine. Namo Om Vaishnava Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasyatya Desa Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhar Sivasadi Ghor Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you very much. So today is our topic about the enthusiasm, how to remain fixed in our devotional life. Actually, the enthusiasm is the expression of our desire to develop the intentions to serve the divine couple, Radha and Krishna. All devotional expressions, be they japa, be they Harinam Sankirtan, preaching, studying, serving Guru and the Vaishnavas, cooking for the deities, or any seva should be done with enthusiasm. Enthusiasm and joy is the key to the bhav and the rasa that we carry in our heart. So let's see how important is enthusiasm is. A person in Krishna consciousness is always transcendental to the material modes of nature. He has no expectations for the result of the work entrusted to him by the authority, because he is above the false ego and pride. Because we see the pride, Krishna doesn't like it. Like we see in the pastime of Radha and Krishna, when Radha feel that Krishna is only mine and he is only dancing with me in the rasa dance, Krishna walked away from Radharani, and Radharani realized. So pride, we cannot be able to, with the pride, we will never be able to make any advancement in our spiritual life. The devotees does not worry about the distress undertaken when he does the services. He is always enthusiastic. He does not care for success or for the failure. He is equal in both distress and happiness. These are some of the wonderful characteristics of the devotees Krishna spoke in Bhagavad Gita. In 18th chapter, you can refer later on, 1826 purport, Srila Prabhupada had mentioned this. The favorable conditions for the discharging devotional service are that one should be really enthusiastic in serving the Lord. That's a prime qualifications to render the devotional service. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted the cult of devotional service to the Lord to be preached all over the world, in every nook and corner. And therefore, a pure devotee's duty is to discharge his order as far as possible. Every devotee should be very enthusiastic, not only in performing his daily devotional service, but in trying to preach peacefully by following in footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and our dear Srila Prabhupada. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.8.21 in purport, Srila Prabhupada expressed this mood that we must follow. One must perform devotional service with great patience. One should not give up the executions of devotional service because one or two attempts have not been successful. This is also very important in our devotional life, that we need to learn the patience. Sometimes Krishna will withhold this mercy and we may not see the benefit. I always tell the newcomer when they first chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I always tell them that don't feel that the result will come right away. You keep on practicing, and Krishna never forget any single service, even a small service that you will render. He will never forget. But what he does, because he knows our past, he knows our present, and he knows our future. So whatever service that we render to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he recognizes and he knows when and where we will need his help. So he makes sure on his calendar that, okay, this person will run into this trouble and I'm going to reciprocate because he is rendering loving service to me. So please remember, I have seen some people that they start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and after that they will say after 3 or 6 months that, actually I was really happy when I was not following anything. As soon as I start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, now I am running into a lot of trouble. One way it is good, that whatever is our reactions that we have to take, it's good to get over those karmic reactions. But the other thing, that don't forget that Krishna has forgotten your service. He is marking in his calendar. He has never failed. Like we see the example, one time Krishna cut his finger and Draupadi was there. And Draupadi, without caring how much that expensive sari, beautiful sari she was wearing, without any hesitation, Draupadi tear out little piece, maybe 1 feet long, 2 inches wide, and she wrap around Krishna's finger to stop bleeding. Now Krishna remember even the small 1 feet long by 2 inches wide cloth. He always remembered. So what happened when that in this assembly of the kings, when Durshasan wants to disrobe Draupadi? First of all, Krishna didn't came. Why? Because Draupadi was looking at Bhismadev, Karna, all the assembled kings and great personality for the protections. Actually, after this incident, Draupadi has that meeting with Krishna. And Draupadi is asking, Krishna, how come you didn't came? Krishna responds that, look, Draupadi, you were looking for the help from all the assembly of the kings and everybody. Nobody came to assist. But as soon as you raise your hand and say Govinda, right away came. So in our life, we have to remember any single small service. Even Prabhupada used to say that one person came and he was from the street and he just came to use the toilet. But good thing he did that he bring one roll of toilet tissue paper and he left in the toilet. And Prabhupada says that he has rendered the service to Krishna. So we should feel that any service we do, Krishna will reciprocate at the proper time. So we must continue. That's the essence of my talk. We should not get discouraged. Srila Rupa Goswami also confirmed that one should be very enthusiastic and execute devotional service with patience and confidence. Confidence is required. What confidence and where we can gain the confidence? By reading the scripture, by associating with the advanced devotees. So we will know from their experience that what they have walked through, when they share the realizations, it will give us the confidence that that process works. Like in my life, I see that Tamal Krishna Maharaj was a very intelligent person. If he has gone into the material realm, he might be a CEO of the biggest corporation in this world. But he studied everything and then he surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. So for me, it was very easy because I know that I don't have that much time to go through all the literature and the scriptures and come with the conclusion, this is the right process or not. By seeing the example of my Guru Maharaj, that's how wonderful and how happy he was by serving Srila Prabhupada. I took up my life that I want to surrender and I want to follow in his footsteps. So this is really essential that we must have some confidence. If we don't have the confidence ourselves, then we should listen to those previous acharyas or the present acharyas or the devotees and hear from them. That will increase our confidence. And patience is also very necessary for developing the confidence that Krishna will certainly accept me and my services because I am engaged in the devotional service. So that should be the pre-qualifications that we create in our heart. One has only to execute service according to the rules and regulations to ensure the success. Srimad Bhagavatam confirmed that in Canto 5, chapter 29, text 16. Whenever you have time, you can read that purport, wonderful purport. If one is purified by following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order, that is by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one must certainly be eager to render service. That's the requirement. If we are not following or able to perform the devotional service, we should check our chanting. Is my chanting proper? I'm following the rules and regulations because that is essential. This is how the mercy flows from the superior to junior. We have to follow their instructions, then the mercy will come. So it is to be understood that he is reaping the result of chanting the name of Krishna when we do engage in devotional service in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That point has been made very, very clear. So one should accept this opportunity to return home, back to Godhead, very enthusiastically. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be successful. Even in the material world, one has to be very enthusiastic in his particular field of activity in order to become successful. Like student, businessman, artist, or anyone else who wants to make success in his line must be enthusiastic. Similarly, one has to be very enthusiastic in devotional service. Enthusiasm means action. It's not like inactivity. Action for whom? That is another things that we have to consider. Everyone is active. You know, if you see that all the people in this world, even so much running around, so much busy, they are so much engaged in different activity, but it depends with for whom those activity has been performed. And the answer is that one should always act for Krishna because we are eternal part and parcel of Krishna. We are servant of Krishna, and this is our dharma. Dharma means that you cannot separate from that subject. So like for the water, the dharma for the water is liquid. Dharma for the fire is heat and light. If you don't see the heat and light, that doesn't mean that it's a fire. It is their inherent qualities. That is called dharma. So what is our dharma? Jivere swarupahai nityare Krishna das. We should live our life exemplary to prove that I am the servant of God. Nectar of Instruction, Ripa Goswami has helped us by quoting a wonderful verse. This is actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has written only 8 verses, 6 astika. But one time before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was ready to leave this world, he was really feeling to instruct one of his disciples on the important instructions that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt that he should pass on to his disciple. So he picked up Rupa Goswami. So before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, very quietly in a very secluded place, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving these wonderful 11 instructions, which has been in the book Nectar of Instructions, Updeshamrita, that this is the nectar of all the instructions. So we are so fortunate that Rupa Goswami has left behind those instructions. What is that? Utsahan nisyadhaya tat tat karma pravartanat sangatyagat sato vrute sadbir bhakti prasidyati. That if we really wants to blossom our devotional practice, these are the 6 activities that we must imbibe in our practical daily life. And what are those 6 activities? Be enthusiastic. Second, endeavoring with confidence. As we say, without confidence, no result will come. Third, being patient. Fourth, acting according to the rules and regulations, not whimsically. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So these are the 9 wonderful processes that we should follow. And abandoning the association of a non-devotees, that is also required. And the last one is follow in the footstep of our previous acharyas. Because whimsically we cannot take up this process. we must have some guide. Like in a material world also, if you want to be a medical doctor, you must go to the medical school to get the education from whom they have perfected that qualifications. So similarly, in our spiritual life also, that we must have some mentor or the spiritual master to properly guide on a day-to-day basis. Enthusiasm is a symptom of living entity. Every living being is enthused to do something, and it cannot be stopped. It is there. This is the inherent nature of our soul. And it is like a powerful engine. If you utilize properly, it will give you immense productions. Therefore, the enthusiasm should be purified. How we will purify it? Instead of employing enthusiasm for attaining the material gain, material wealth, material goals, then the perfectional stage of devotional service will be hampered accordingly. How much you contribute those your enthusiasm for those activity relevantly, it will reduce your devotional life. One time, His Holiness Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj was visiting Houston, and I had the chance. So I asked Maharaj, Maharaj, can you give me simple two instructions that can really help me in my devotional life? And those are simple, but very, very deep and effective. That has helped me a lot. One example he gave, that we are the one who is bounding the tree with two hands. And now we are asking our spiritual master and Prabhupada and all the disciples, please relieve me from those bondage. But we are the one who is holding. So Gaur Govinda Maharaj says that the only thing you have to do, release your two hands and you will be free from that tree. Very nice example. And the other example Maharaj gave me was that when you are sitting in a boat and you may try hard and hard to move the boat further, you may try day and night, but if you have not taken out the anchor for the boat, your boat will not even move an inch. So no matter how good we will do chanting, how good we will study, how good we will do other services, but if we fail to release those anchors, our journey toward the kingdom of God will not take any further steps. So that's a prerequisite that we should dedicate our life for the pleasure of the divine couple. And one thing I have seen in my life, that when you dedicate Krishna, what he gives the guarantee in Bhagavad Gita, I will maintain what you have. But what is missing, that is not that you are realizing the happiness. I will give you that special thing to you. So we should not worry. We should be really lenient to render the service to the divine couple, because there is no loss. Always Krishna give more than you can give. So, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur has also made a wonderful point that there are two living beings in this existent in material world. One is Jiva, like us, living entity, and the second is holy name. These are the only, rest of everything is dead matter. It doesn't make any sense. Only two living being is there. So our task is really to connect those two things, Jiva with the holy name. And then our life will become successful. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Sachinandan Swami Maharaj has written a very nice book. I hope that you may have come across a living, where is the book? It's somewhere. The living name. Sachinandan Maharaj had write a wonderful books to give us some meditation and everything before we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And he has given a one wonderful example that it's really touched my heart and it has helped me to improve my chanting. So I would like to share. Sachinandan Maharaj says that Draupad, the Draupadi's father, he built a very big arena. It was like a 60 feet tall. And then uh, the Arjuna, the bow was so heavy that only a strong person can even lift the bow. And then he has to see not directly to the object, the fish was moving. And before the fish, there was another wheel was circling, going with the different spikes. So he has to be really, really concentrated to see the speed of the wheel and then also to see the eyes of that fish. He cannot see directly. He has to see in the reflection of the water. So it's a very, very exemplary example for us to follow. So our Acharya says that if the water is moving constantly, then the image is not sharp. You won't be able to see the fish if the water is moving. And Arjuna has to look in the water. He cannot see directly the fish. So he has to subdue all these demands of urges, our Acharya says, that we have to become peaceful. And only way we will become peaceful is we give up our sense enjoyment. Live a simple, very nice, serene life. Have a peaceful atmosphere in your home. All the loving relationship with the devotees or whoever you come across, the brand new person, just see as a service of Krishna, act them nicely, lovingly, affectionately. Then that our water will be clear. Then we will be able to see the target clearly. And then what is that? The moving wheel is representing, our Acharya says, the distractions. Whenever we have seen it, I think that personally I have experienced also that, our mind becomes so fixed. We can remain so determined. We can remain really alert when the material subjects are described. Like when we watch the movies on the television or something, we feel so connected that we become a part of the drama even. When it comes to the chanting, we have all other thoughts will come. Oh, you are chanting at 4 o'clock in the morning, and one time Rita Swami Maharaj was saying that, the thought will come, oh, today I will have to fix my car. The maintenance shop doesn't open until 9 o'clock. Why you are bothered with those thoughts? Just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So it's like that. So the wheel represent the distractions. So we have to remove. When we want to chant, we should select the one place in our home, which is very cordial for our devotional practice. No cell phone, no distractions. Just give the time. If you are chanting for 1 hour, just say that 1 hour, no other activity. Just I'm going to chant. And you will see your mind will listen and he will realize that this man is not listening. And he will cooperate, mind will cooperate with us, and then we will become really fixed. So distractions will remove, then we will be able to, that says that our soul is like an arrow and the Krishna is a target. So when we able to remove all those material attachments so we can see Krishna clearly and our target very clearly, and when we move those different distractions, then we will be able to shoot that arrow, our soul will reach the goal to Krishna. So very wonderful example. If you have seen that, in South India, if you have gone, the Rangnath temple has the 3 gates. So like the first wall is just you surrender your body, and there is an inner wall to the temple. So when you go and open the door, pushing the door, that you offer your mind to the Krishna. And it says that the third door where the deity is there, that door we have no control, because their door doesn't open by pushing. It's open from inside. So our duty is to offer our body and mind in the service of Krishna and let Krishna decide when he feels satisfied with our mood and our intentions and our service. Then one day he will open the door and we can have the full darshan of the deities. So we should hanker for those moments in our life, actually. We have not yet see the glimpse of our relations with Krishna. So that's the reason that we have so much other attachment. But once we get little mercy from our Guru and our Acharya, and even get glimpse of that, our Acharya explained, the happiness that we derived in this material world is nothing but the cessation of misery. We are constantly tortured by these three modes of material nature. We should accept it. Who is happy? We don't know next step what it's gonna bring. We may be enjoying very nicely, but moment after, drastic thing comes and everything will change. Like the people, recently uh, in Florida, uh, uh, which city, I forgot the name, but Miami. And the people, when they went to the bed, they were not expecting that something will happen. They were thinking, oh, tomorrow I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do that. But those souls never woke up. So our life is like that. I was reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto. We must read the 11th canto. I think it's more important than reading the 10th canto, because 11th canto teaches how to become free from this material allurement. And it says that we should feel that the poisonous snake is sleeping right beside us. We don't know when the snake will change his mind and bite us with the poison, and we will leave this world. That's temporary. Govinda Das also saying the same thing. Kamala dala jala jivana talamala bajahu haripada nitire. That our life is compared to the drop of water on the lotus leaves. Little wind can come and shake up the latest petals, and our life will be finished. So we should see the urgency for the devotional practice. So we need the mercy of Krishna, but on our part, consistent, determined effort, which will increase our faith slowly. We must remain determined. We should make a vow. Like, I don't know, but we have started because of the COVID. We started in the morning, then let's get together and chant together. So we have a Zoom call every morning. And actually the program started at 4:30, but 5 or 6 of us, we always join by 3:20 a.m. and we start chanting, and other devotees join slowly at 4:30. And the program is going for more than 10 months. And we never realized that, we never miss a single day. Why? Because, you feel that, hey, if I don't attend it, everybody will say, I goof up today, because I read the name every day who attended this morning program. So it's so nice. We have to help each other. By association of the devotees can remove all the obstacles from our life. And by associating with those devotees who has the full conviction and the faith, that faith will inspire to try out ourselves, that must be true. That happened to that person. If I try sincerely, it will happen to us also. Also in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's a very classic example, very simple, but very deep meaning. It says that we have to drive the car. So what we need to drive the car? We need to have a gas in the gas tank, but also we need to have a full control on our accelerator. We should have full control on the brake. We should have a complete control on the steering wheel. If we don't have the full control, just think about it. How can you run the car? Right? If somebody take away that, hey, you cannot move certain way your steering wheel, what is going to happen? It's a disaster. So similarly, we have to come to the conclusion in our life that we are not the controller of our life, that somebody else is also the part of controlling our vehicle. These three modes of nature, they are controlling. In reality, it says that we are not the one who is performing anything. Is the modes of nature is allow us to act in a different way. So we have to realize, it's a very simple example, that when we doesn't have the full control on our own car, how can we drive safely? It will be an accident, there will be a disaster. So we must understand that there is some higher authority is helping us to drive the car. When their help is not there, it would be, no matter how hard we will try, it will always remain very, very difficult. So we have so many limitations, but enthusiasm is also contagious. We have to give importance today to the enthusiasm. So it is very contagious. If you will uh, associate with those devotees that they are really enthused to render devotional service, you will create that hankering in your heart. Prabhupada says that devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculations or the imaginative ecstasy. He described, Srila Prabhupada, bhakti as a cultivation. Cultivation means activity, practical service. So we have to understand the value of the devotional service by learning about it from a devotees. And Prabhupada says that we show our enthusiasm by our practical activities in our daily life. And it's so prominent. When I think about the practical services, I can never forget Srila Prabhupada disciple, Jayanand Prabhu. We all knows Jayanand Prabhu, who built this Rath Yatra cart. And it says that, Prabhuji has the master degree from University of Ohio. And somehow or other, he was not feeling, something was missing in his life, despite the really good high education. He was born in a rich family, at least that he doesn't have to worry about maintenance. But somehow or other, something was missing in his life. So then he finally ended up in San Francisco and he met Srila Prabhupada. And when he met Srila Prabhupada, seeing the simplicity of Prabhupada's life, he had that conviction. By hearing just one time Srila Prabhupada lecture, he was convinced that this person will never cheat me. Let me follow sincerely and I will be happy. And it says that Jayanand Prabhu was not a really scholarly person, that he has so much knowledge. One time, one devotee asked Jayanand Prabhu, can you tell me how to advance in spiritual life? Jayanand Prabhu says that, I don't read that many books or anything. How can I guide you? I'm so busy, day in and out, working for Krishna. I don't have time. Even it says that even Srila Prabhupada used to visit the San Francisco temple, and Jayanand Prabhu was the president, but very few times he was attending the Bhagavatam class even, because he was so busy. He was the person then giving up their professional life, and he started driving the taxi cab in San Francisco. And whatever the money was coming, Jayanand Prabhu was giving to the temple to pay all the utility bills and everything. He was not keeping anything because he was living in the temple. That dedication is required. And we can gain by seeing, it says that when the Rath Yatra comes, Jayanand Prabhu will never sleep for 5 days and 5 nights. Constantly work to make the Rath cart ready for Lord Jagannath. That's the dedication, determinations we need to create in our life. If we really, and what happened? Jayanand Prabhu, when he left the body, Srila Prabhupada was on this planet. And Prabhupada declared that Jayanand Prabhu went back to the Goloka Vrindavan just by rendering determined service. He never gave up the service. That's what is required in our life. As a devotees, we become enthused sometimes. Oh, I want to do this. And I have seen, because, I managed the temple for 28 years. Devotee will come with so much enthusiasm. Oh, Prabhu, please engage me. What service I can do? I said, first thing I learned that we have to learn to engage them according to their ability. Then and then they will survive. If we are not qualified to see the quality of that person, or inquire for him that where is your aptitude, where is your interest, rather than engaging where we need. A lot of the manager does that mistakes because they are pressured to achieve something. So they will say, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. But if that person aptitude is not for that, they will not last for long. Ultimately, they may do it with your respect, but it will not be lasting for long. So manager, we must learn how to engage them according to their ability. And I think my Guru Maharaj was really expert that he made engagement to different disciples, give the different duty. So it was a harmony. We don't interfere with the other devotees' job. What I was doing, nobody will interfere. They have a faith in me. I have a faith in them. And with that collaboration, our yatra can take really next step. So it is important that we should know that. So the definition of the devotional service is endeavor executed with intelligence. Krishna wants us to use our intelligence. Krishna has given unlimited potency for all of us. It's hidden in our heart. It's like, I see, whenever I see any person, I see as a devotee of Krishna, like in a state of coal. When you see the dark black coal, you may see this is a useless substance. But we forget that if you keep on rubbing the coal, ultimately you will see the diamond inside. So whenever we see any living entity, we should see as a diamond, the servant of God. It says that what is that? Uh, Eternal. It's what's the word for eternity? Nitya Siddha.
Nitya Siddha Kabandha.
Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema. Sadhu Kabinahi. Shranamadadi Suddha Chitte Karere Udoy. That the love of Krishna is imbibed in our heart for all of us. It just need little awaken by hearing properly and applying those what we hear. Actually, our Acharya has says, what is the best hearing technique? What do you mean by I hear something? Our Acharya says, if you have heard something that had attracted your heart, you should dwell on those thoughts, elaborate the thoughts much more whenever you have a time. Devise a plan in your heart how you can employ your senses for that cause. Deliberate very nicely. And at the same time, we pray to this, our acharyas and Radha and Krishna, that I have a sincere desire. Please bless me that I can perform these devotional practices. So we need our effort and also we need the mercy. When we get the combination, then and then Yashoda Mai was able to tie Lord Damodar. So we need to have that mood. That is called hearing. When you hear something in your life which has attracted your heart, make a note and magnify because there must be some connection. Krishna wants to give you some message and guide you. So take it very seriously. So we have to use our intelligence, to use our enthusiasms in the service of Krishna. And the more truth of the Krishna consciousness, more we learn the truth of Krishna consciousness, the more we become enthusiastic. We also use our intelligence more to think in the ways to serve Krishna and his representative and share Krishna consciousness with other living beings. Without utsaha, without enthusiasm, one becomes negligent in his worship or in practice. Negligence is born out of inactivity, apathy, or indifference, laziness, and inertia are called inactivity. So when utsaha is generated, but if you don't utilize, then laziness and inertia will take over and our enthusiasms will subdue and we will miss that opportunity, what we intend to perform. So how can we perform the devotional service? The state of apathy develops from carelessness. We become so careless. All other things that we see in a practical life, we will do so diligently. You know, we want to iron our clothes, we want to put tilak very nicely, we want to perform all other activity which is not related to Krishna very diligently. We never make mistakes. It's like, as a manager, I can see that in the blender, every year I will have to raise the money for the blender. Now I have seen the household that if they got the gift during the marriage time, that couple is living for 25 years, they have never replaced the blender. But when it goes to the deity kitchen, somehow or other the mood should be more cohesive to see that this is belongs to Radharani. We should be more careful. But we become lethargic, we become lazy. That's a sign. We should see, when we see those things happen in our life, we must see, recognize those things at the early age stage and seek out for some association and guidance. That's the first stage of going downhill in our devotional practices. When you lose the enthusiasm, that's the first time. Why you were able to do, like a lot of the devotees, they see, sometimes they miss it, they will receive the text message from me because I want to see them advance in spiritual life. So I'll send them a text message, nice, that Prabhuji, is everything okay in your life? uh, I'm sorry that I miss your association today. And then they will respond and they will feel. So it's a very nice, cordial relationship we can establish with the devotees like that. So carelessness and inattentiveness is also affect our chanting. And it says our Acharya has given the three types of inattention. Inattention is the root cause for all other offenses, even when we chant the holy name. And what are those inattentiveness? Is apathy, inactivity, and distractions. These are the inattentiveness can kill our devotional life. So we have to protect. Very nice. So unless and until we are able to give up those, we can perform devotional service on a continual basis. And Krishna pleases when he see the continual service. We have a Dwarkanath Prabhu. He has started his devotional life in 1984. So it's a 16 plus 21, 37 years. He took the service of buying the boga for the temple. And as of today also, even though he is 72 years old, still he performed his activity, buying the boga for the temple. That determination will take us back to the Godhead. So it is obvious that the enthusiasm is the life of devotional service, and we become enthusiastic to serve Krishna in association of the devotee who are they really enthusiastic. Prabhupada says the bhakti is a cultivation through practice. In the beginning, our enthusiasms may be small or maybe act at various times differently. We will be far so much, and 3 months we will slow down, and like that, those things will happen. But if we remain steadfast in our determination, all the impediments on our devotional life, obstacle, will be removed by the mercy of our acharyas and Krishna. So we pray at the divine lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Parampara, 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, all the Brajvasis who constantly serving the divine couple from their heart to bestow their kind mercy on all of us today, so we can imbibe their quality. It says that they even curse Lord Brahma, that how did you dare to create the lids on our eyes? So when we blink, we lose the vision of the Radha and Krishna. So maybe by their mercy of the Brajavasi, we may imbibe some of those wonderful things in our life, and then our life will become really, really jubilant. It will be really happy. It describes that happiness is ever increasing it will never stop, ever increasing happiness. And we don't have to go back to the Godhead. We can realize this happiness living in the midst of this material world. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share some of the things which I learned in my devotional life, and also reading some our previous acharyas work, and looking at the example of the different devotees. You know, we read like in Russia, different places, the devotees, they've been beaten up so much in the jail, they were captivated, they were torturing day and night. They never give up. Haridas Thakur, when the Qazi take to the king, and then they declared that what king was somehow or other was sold to the Qazi. So whatever ultimately Qazi says, king was ready. So king, after the deliberation, king is asking, Qazi, what should we do with this person? So the Qazi said we should take him market to market, 22 marketplace, and beat him and make him die. But Haridas Thakur never felt a single pain. He was chanting constantly while he was getting beaten up at the 22 marketplace. That faith is required. And actually we see that its external point of view, those great devotees seems to us, they are suffering. But believe me, they are relishing the utmost pleasure. Why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally was taking those beating. And finally, one time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu opened up his shoulder and showed it to Haridas Thakur. There, look, I was always there to protect you. I take all the beatings from the marketplace. So with those thoughts, I want to always stay punctual on my timing. So I will stop here and see if anybody has any suggestions, comment, corrections, chastisement, because I'm a fallen soul. I may have made some mistakes, not presenting properly. So I'm very grateful again to give me the kind opportunity to associate with you all wonderful souls, and hope that maybe one day we can again eternally join the company of you all in Goloka Vrindavan. So I'll stop here and see anybody has any questions or they wants to share something from their heart. It's very enlivening that when we hear the devotees speak something from their heart, which will really help us this forum. So it's open. Anybody can speak whatever they have in their heart and share with everyone else. Thank you.
Jai, thank you so much, Prabhuji. It was a mind-blowing class, and it was in the beginning. I was a little distracted, but at the end, it was a lot of your points. I was trying to observe, and it felt one of the best classes. So, devotees, are there any questions or any comments? Please raise your hand. Use your the feature on Zoom, or you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
I can go first, Prabhu. Shyamsundar, thank you very much. I may have to leave early because we have a new temple meeting at 1 o'clock. I have to drive. But however, Alec Prabhu will take it from here. So, so happy, Prabhu. So a lot of people talk philosophy, this and that, but at the end of the day, tree is judged by the fruit. So people talk, but we don't see them much. People have a lot of ideas, this and that, but the consistency is the key. You emphasize that enthusiasm, working same thing daily, week after week, month after month, year after year. So your example is like same as your Guru Maharaj. So 28 years as a leader and then doing the same thing and then still down to earth. Amazing.
Much fallen than you all.
Sorry?
I'm most fallen than you all.
Hari. So you can say that, Prabhu, but we know that the fragrance of the flower, nobody cannot suppress it. It manifests itself, blossom. So my question, Prabhu, here, there's also new people here. So what is that keeping you grounded? And then you're so enthusiastic and still going for it? Because what is that a recipe or whatever the thing you do, which consistently, never feeling bored, doing the same thing again and again, and is still going with the great guns? Please tell us.
Wonderful question, Prabhu. Actually, uh, three things is very essential. I think Sachinandan Maharaj has given the, if you can Google it, it's called three-step meditations. And in the first steps, Maharaj says, which is the meditation Srila Prabhupada has given us, that always remember that we are servant of God. We can never become a controller. We have been controlled. So this is our grounding. Always on the back of our mind, we should always remember we are not the controller, we are the servant of God. Second step is anything happen in our life during the due course of day, we should never blame anybody else because Krishna never makes any mistakes. Because we must have done something in our previous life or this life, we may have to go through some unpleasant moments in our life where we should not point finger or look at this devotee, this is to me. We deserved it. That's why he's just a simple instrument to carry out the instruction of Krishna. So we should never become angry to that person who is blaspheming or he may be chastening you. Just take as a message from Krishna. And if you take it sincerely in that way, I have seen that slowly and slowly, it will become very easy to accept those things. In the beginning, it would be difficult because we are hard-hearted person, we will try to blame, we will try to find out the fault of others, not looking at our own fault. But if you sincerely try for some time, slowly and slowly, it will get revealed to you that whatever happened, it has to be happen at that time and moment in their circumstances. You will realize that. So what we have to do at that time, if we not correct ourselves, we have to make a sincere prayer to Lord Krishna. Krishna, I'm a fallen soul. If you want me to teach a lesson, first give me the intelligence that I can recognize that I need to improve in that area. So we must beg first from Krishna. And after begging, we should then say that also, please help me. Give me the strength that I will be able to make the change in my life. So with those type of a mood will keep you grinding and you will come to our real positions. Then in reality, we are servant of God. And whatever it happen in our life is destined to happen. Nobody we should blame for it. And then the third step is Maharaj says that ultimately we have to make the prayer to Krishna and our Guru and Srila Prabhupada that I'm going through. And one thing is there, if you read that in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 25 personality has written the wonderful prayer. By reading the prayer, we can know the inner feeling of the devotees. So I highly recommend that we should learn those prayers as given in Srimad Bhagavatam by 25 personalities. And we should read something and dwell on it because they are revealing their inner feeling. So those processes help me. But give you one practical example. My service was that even though the president, I like to serve the sannyasis when they visit because they travel, they get so much fatigue and still they may have come landed at 10 o'clock, but they will come in the morning and give the Bhagavatam class. So I always had some desire that maybe I should render some personal service. So by the help of Giridhari Swami Maharaj, he was with me. He stayed with me for 2 weeks and he taught me how to massage sannyasi. And I'm very grateful for Giridhari Swami Maharaj to taught me because then I have massaged most of the Maharaj, at least 30 sannyasis in ISKCON when they visited ISKCON, or sometime when I used to attend the GBC meeting, I used to go around the Swamis and I'll get that appointment one after another. And I was massaging 3 sannyasis in one night. It take 1 hour and 10 minutes. So one time Giriraj Maharaj was visiting Houston just to give a little glimpse that how I keep my mind working. So Giriraj Maharaj is, he is like Avadut, and if somebody will keep on asking him a question after the dinner, he will never leave them, he will give answer. So one night it was so late, like close to midnight, and I say, Maharaj, and Maharaj says, Shyam Sundar, you really want to massage me at midnight? I say, yes, Maharaj. I am massaging you, so no matter what it time, this is now you free. I have to give you massage. So Maharaj said, okay, well, I cannot stop you. So I massaged Maharaj, and it took normally like 1 hour and 10 minutes. And normally within 15, 20 minutes, they start snoring and they will go to sleep. But that night Maharaj wake up and he said, Shyam Sundar, tell me, what is there in your mind that you are still massaging me at 1:30 in the morning? Please share with me. So then I told Maharaj that, Maharaj, I was also thinking the same way, that it's late, I'm tired. But I was thinking, what is the option I have? If I leave your service right now, and if I go home, then wife will complain that I have a lot of stomach pain or something, then please take me to the emergency. So what I will do, Maharaj, not only I will take her to the hospital, but I will spend the whole night with her, make sure that she is comfortable. Isn't it or not? Maharaj says, yes. So then what it's so better that not to put my wife into the hospital. It's better to massage you, whatever it takes. So when I go to sleep, then I can sleep very nicely. So Maharaj was really happy to see like that. So those are the lot of the moments in my life. Managing the temple is very difficult task. All the members should understand that unless and until you will put in the situation, it's impossible for you to understand what they go through day and night. I have walked through my life. When we doesn't have enough money, during the Janmashtami festivals, early days, we don't have money even to pay the utility bills. We have to work. Okay, next, today is 18th, 25th, our electricity bill is gonna come due. Let's work on the electricity bill. So we were concentrating on electricity bill. Once we paid on 25th, then we'll say, okay, on the 2nd is a gas bill come. 5th is the water bill is gonna come. So we constantly was working. Janmashtami time, I can give you that what I used to do just to save $45 for the dumpster, not to have the extra pickup. Even though on a Janmashtami, I'll wear a wonderful brand new dhoti and kurta, but by 1:30 at night, we will go in the dumpster, we will put all the card boxes on the top, and then I'll say all the young children, still they remember, Uncle, you used to tell us to jump on the dumpster. I said, yes, I remember. And I will also climb myself so they don't feel that this is a boss, he just tell us to do these dirty things and he just sit on the side. I used to also put my dhoti up and I will jump with them. So it will go like a half of the volume, we will dump it so we can save $45. So all these members should have a deep respect for the manager. It's not an easy job. One time, Jay Advaita Maharaj, when I became a temple president, Jay Advaita Maharaj was giving a class, Bhagavatam class, and somehow or other he made a wonderful joke that, if you go everywhere, they were asking the question to the dog, you want to do this? Dog said, yes. You want to do this? Dog said, yes. You want to do this? Dog said, yes. And when they asked, hey, dog, you want to be a TP of ISKCON temple? Dog said, no, that I can't do this. Even dog, Jayadvaita Maharaj says even dog doesn't accept that service. So please be kind to your TP. Please assist them in any way that you can to make your center successful. And other thing I have done in ISKCON Houston is to keep that mood, we must sacrifice. So I have started the EFT program in Houston that every month, according to your desire, according to your sincerity, according to your capacity, whatever it is, from your heart, you commit certain amount of money that can be withdrawn on the date you selected, 4th of the month, 5th of the month. My current income from the Social Security is $1,772 a month. And I still continue to give temple $400 a month, about 22.5%. So we should live a very exemplary life. We should please our Guru and our Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada has said gallons of milk. He went in so much difficulty, gallons of blood. So we cannot dedicate a little for him. We should feel that this is our obligation. How we are going to purify our activity if we cannot utilize the part of the fruit of the result? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in 8th chapter, wonderful 4 verses, how 4 steps of surrendering to Krishna. What he said, first thing, you give up everything. Just completely surrender Krishna. No personal business. Give your life to Krishna. Bhakti Charu Maharaj says, Prabhupada told Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj that you have lived so many lives. Just live one life for Krishna. So we should keep that mood. Let this life be the life of service, not for anything else. So try to do that EFT program, and you will see that, like during the EFT, the new management is really thankful to me. They say, Prabhu, you are so visionary that you have the EFT program. Otherwise, nobody come to the temple. Nobody, no donation received. How we may have maintained this temple, but because of your EFT, we are surviving. So I suggest, as your center is also growing, please create the EFT program where all of us, according to the no force, do according to your capacity. My Guru Maharaj used to say, when you donate, Krishna doesn't see how much you are donating. Krishna see how much you are keeping for yourself. So be kind. Do whatever you can to show Krishna that you are really sincere about his service. And you will see in my life, I can write the books that what Krishna has done in my life. I have a brain hemorrhage in 2009. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with very serious critical pneumonia. And nobody was thinking at that time that I will survive. But still, by Krishna's grace, I'm here to associate with the wonderful devotees. Krishna gave me the chance. So please do needful. It will never go in vain. Any other questions?
Thank you, Shyamsundar Prabhu. Amazing. We do have EFT. We started 2007 with $100, $200. Now we get an average $7,000 to $8,000 every month, and then that's reason, even though in COVID is nobody, but still temple maintained. We never reduce any staff. We never reduce services. Still continues. That's one of the best thing happened in Columbus back in 2000. We started in 2006. A devotee from India visiting Shyamsundar Prabhu. He told us to do that. And when we did that, now we reap the benefits. So that's so wonderful.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And also, thank you very much, Prabhu. It was an amazing answer.
Jai. Any other questions or comments? So, Shyamsundar Prabhu, do you have any time limit? That
No.
till what time you can go?
No.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I
If
would like to, yes, any question?
I was having one thought I wanted to ask you. You mentioned 3 points about inattentiveness
Yes.
towards the end, and I could remember the second one was inactivity, and the third one was distraction. I missed the first one, but I also wanted to
Apathy.
Empathy.
Apathy. Yeah. Apathy.
Apathy.
APHY.
Apathy. Okay.
Yes.
So can you please elaborate a little bit more on those 3 points? And the second point is kind of contradictory, right? Because inactivity can lead to inattentiveness, but activity can lead to distraction. Any activity.
Yeah, but we have to be selective what activity we perform.
Okay.
We have to use our intelligence, right?
Yes.
Right. So when we perform the activity, we must choose which activity is the best for me. We perform this activity. And you know, for the maintenance of family life, whatever activity you have to perform, do your service. Prabhupada never says that artificially give up everything. He wants us to follow the Yukta Vairagya. Means, one time I asked my Guru Maharaj, we were walking on the TC Jester Park, and I said, Gurudev, you were able to meet Srila Prabhupada. You were only 20 years old, 21 years old, and you were able to give up everything. But I don't think in our life that we will be able to come to the stage. So can you please guide how can we proceed? He gave a wonderful example that I will share with you. He said, first take the risk that if it doesn't work out in your favor, you will not become totally like, oh gosh, I was hoping that I will achieve this and it's everything, my life is destroyed. Don't risk that much that if it doesn't work out for you, you will become so distracted, right? So first step is to take the risk. If it doesn't work in your situation, still you should feel completely satisfied. Okay, it didn't work out. I just lose little. So you can bear with it. Try with that. And if it's work out good, then next time you risk more. Second time it work out nicely, then third time you can take a little more risk. And then slowly we'll gain the experience. Krishna will reciprocate you with some or other to show you that he is caring about you. Whenever you take the risk, he is going to protect you more and more. And you will see in your life, you gain your personal experience in your life, and that will increase your faith. Slowly and slowly you develop deeper and deeper faith. And like staunch, you will become that if somebody wants to even kill you, you said, okay, I'm ready. So yes. And determination about this is like, I would like to share my personal, that when Giridhari Maharaj taught me how to massage, I will have to massage him so hard on his feet and the head, so hard. And I was, the professional massager, they will use their wrist or sometimes they use their elbow, right, to massage. But I used to use my fingertip. So it says that then I did so many massaging book to become more familiar with it. So then I came to know that when you do the massage with your fingertips, you are actually giving your strength to the person who is getting massaged. So you feel weak when you massage somebody. So, but his instruction was that massage heavy, heavy, heavy. And other, he said, then never stop until the person who is getting massage tell you to stop. And I was, like crying 2 hours, 3 hours, I was massaging. Maharaj was training. That's his part of his job. And I was playing, man, I can next, like 1 hour, I cannot hold anything with my finger. It gets so tired. But I want to follow that instruction. So what happened right after the Giridhari Maharaj left, Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj came to Houston. And then I requested Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj was the first person that I can try it out the massage. So I begged Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj that please allow me so I can continue my practicing massaging. Giridhari Maharaj has taught me, and he said that you are qualified to massage. So believe me, Maharaj, I will do good service. Maharaj said, from you, I cannot take it. I said, Maharaj, if you don't allow me, where I'm going to do the service? So then finally Maharaj surrendered. So I start massaging Maharaj at 9:20 p.m. This is real example I'm telling you. And I was massaging Maharaj until 2:20 a.m. because Giridhari Maharaj says that until the person who is getting massage, until he says stop, you don't stop. So I was following his instruction. Because I massage, so they always go to sleep because they feel relaxed. So anyway, then Maharaj wake up at 2:20 in the morning and he says, Shyamsundar, what is the time? And I said, Maharaj, it's about 2:20 in the morning. So that means that you were massaging whole night. I said, Maharaj, that's my service. But then I become practical. You have to become practical. So then I come up with the scheme that 1 hour and 10 minutes is the perfect time I can give complete massage. So it's like that. We have to make adjustment in our practical life. We can't become stagnant. We cannot become stereotype. We cannot become fanatics. There is another thing is fanaticism. Oh, I can do this. And ultimately, we won't be able to do the long-term services. So we have to be very practical in our Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada used to say, very simple for simple person. It's very complicated for complicated person. So we have to remain simple. Your heart should be simple. Try your best. Whatever you try to do genuinely, from your heart. Don't do it just for show or something. You can always say no to Prabhus. It's not that you have to do whatever somebody asks you to do. If you don't feel like, you can always request, Prabhuji, if you can give me other service, I will be able to do, but this service will be difficult for me. Like that, become practical, adjust your life. But the goal should be that you should never become inactive in devotional practices. Always find your engagement somehow or other according to your ability. That's the goal. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for answering that, as well as sharing this wonderful pastime of massaging.
I was so blessed with Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Yes. I'll relish eternally in my life. Yes.
Wow, unbelievable. Any other questions or thoughts or comments?
Hare Krishna, Samananda Prabhu, with the such humble obeisances. It's very nice to hear about massage story. Anytime you come to Columbus, please teach my son how to massage so that he can massage to other Maharajas when they come to Columbus.
One of my god brother, he was from China, and Krishna Kirtan Prabhu, and he said, Shyamsundar Prabhu, it is so nice service you are doing. I said, you are most welcome. Come and see. So he came for 2-3 nights and see. And he saw me how I was massaging, how much strength is required. And then one time he said, Prabhu, I have seen it, how much force you apply, but can you just put me like a little sample, how hard you press the hand of the Maharaj? When I hold his hand, he said, I can't do that. He was sweating. When I was massaging, he was looking at it, he was sweating. That how can you do this for, hour, 2 hour, 3 hour? I say, Krishna will give you the strength. As long as he gives the strength, you utilize. Like that. No, definitely, I tell all these devotees in Houston also, that's a wonderful service, but I have not yet found one sincere who really wants to learn. There has 2-3 devotees tried out a little bit, but then again, something changed in their life or something, they lose track of it. But if Krishna dissolve, and if I come to Columbus, or if by chance Krishna send you to Houston, I'm more than happy to teach them, definitely. Very standard practice, very perfectly. Even I become so expert that, Jay Advaita Maharaj, Giriraj Maharaj, Keshav Bharati Maharaj, even I'm the only one person that touched the body of Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Radhanath Swami Maharaj told me that Shyamsundar, you are the only one who has touched my body completely. So the point I was making that yeah, I tried to teach some devotees, but something didn't work out, and so I'm always happy. Even I keep on announcing on my Japa call also uh, uh, that if anybody is interested, that's a wonderful service. Yeah. And yeah, the expertise came later on. That's the point I was going to say. I become so expert that I will put my hand on different part of the body of sannyasis, and I can tell them where their stress is. And I used to tell them, Maharaj, you don't tell me where you need the massage. Let me check your body and I will tell you where you need the massage. And 98% of the time I was correct, that I can diagnose where they need some massage. It's so wonderful. And a lot of the sannyasis was telling that we travel a different part of the world and the devotees come forward, that because it's so sublime service, right? Very intimate service. So they said they come forward, but then they just for the name and saying they do lousy work, they will do something for half an hour, but it's not like what you put your heart into it. And yeah, one of the other things that I did it that I was not reluctant to reach out any part of the body. I will reach out everywhere. So really Maharaj appreciate those things, that some massager, they will come, but some of the area, they will never go. But I was, because as a service, what's wrong with it? And we have to do the service to make sure that they get healthy. And it's a wonderful service, believe me. If I massage you, you will fall asleep in half an hour, guaranteed. Yes,
Very well.
very well.
That's amazing, Prabhu. A completely different dimension of rendering service there. So very thankful to you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So it's almost about to be one.
Yeah.
I have few announcements, but I also wanted to know something about Houston Temple. I'm hearing that the Krishna House there is coming up soon, right?
Yes. Yes.
Would you like to share something about that?
Yeah, actually, Kalakan Prabhu, I know that he was the TP in Houston. So he said that whenever I come to Houston, I feel like I'm a Sudama visiting the Krishnas. Because when he was president, when I became a temple president, it was a 2 wooden sack old building. Now it's a wonderful, by the grace of Guru Krishna and Vaishnavas, it's a wonderful project. We have wonderful hall, we have a beautiful temple, we have a Govinda restaurant, very successful. We have an apartment complex right across the street. We have a sannyasi beautiful house to host the mendicants. We have a guest house. We have a storage house for all the 5 departments, separate facility. And then we have the farm, 8.5 acre with 3 cows, gir cow. And we are growing the wonderful vegetables, and we have the team. And now Kalakan Prabhu is going to bring, because our desire is to reach out to cross-section community of the Houston, and we were somehow or other was unsuccessful. So we are trying, we tried for so many years, it didn't click in our favor. So we are begging, and we every morning now we pledge after the Guru Puja that we promise Krishna that if you send any devotees to Houston, we promise you that we will take care of them very nicely. So please send some devotees like that. So luckily that 1 year ago, before the COVID-19, I had my plan to build some facility, like if we have the GBC meeting or some kind of a retreat, then the devotee can stay. So I have designed that one facility where 28 devotees can be able to stay with 5 shower, 5 toilet, 5 sinks, wonderful facility. Just last week we got the permit. So I'm going to work on that project to get it completed within maybe 6 months or something, maybe sooner, by Krishna's grace. So yeah, it's a very enlivening community is growing. Some more American devotees are joining. We have some bhakta. They are distributing the book. They are helping in the farm to grow the vegetables. And it's really hope that Prabhupada and Krishna will shower their mercy to make the last ambitious to involve the local community. That's our goal. Yes.
Hari bol, Hari bol. Thank you so much, Fuji, for sharing that. So I have few announcements for the Columbus devotees. So
I wish you all the good luck at the Columbus Temple. I wish you all.
Thank you so much for your blessings and prayers. So
your announcement, yes.
Yes. So as we all know that now the things are opening again. So our temple ISKCON Columbus is also opening fully from August 1st, and our first Sunday feast. We have been doing virtual Sunday feast for a very long time, and devotees are very excited to attend the Sunday feast in person. So we are going to start our first Sunday feast from August 1st in the temple. Hari bol. Yes, so please mark your calendars and please attend. And we also have Janmashtami, end of August 30th in Columbus. So every year we do the block party. We book the entire block in front of the temple, but this year we did not get the permissions early enough. So we are going to do Janmashtami in the backyard. All the activities are going to happen in the temple backyard and in the temple hall. The temple room new painting work will start from July 22nd and 23rd. So the deities will be moved upstairs in the library room, so that the entire temple room on the first floor can be repainted. So that's exciting. It's happening in about 10 days, 2 days work. So if you are visiting temple, please go to the library room to take the darshan. And we have a very auspicious Ekadashi coming up this Tuesday. So we are going to arrange 3 hours of Kirtan, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And if you would like to participate in the Kirtan, it's going to be a virtual Kirtan. So you can do it from your home. We have a Facebook page, Columbus Sankirtan Party. So you can let Ramesh Prabhu know or let me know so that we can get you added to the schedule as well as to the Sankirtan group. So that's about it. And one thing I was asked to mention to you, Shyamsundar Prabhu, that Prem Sindhu Prabhu, who is the son of Revati Mataji, is sending his best wishes to you.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yes, that is.
Offer my obeisances to him. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, he could not attend today's class because of a conflicting meeting. But yeah, he's sending his best wishes and Hare Krishna to you. So that's all I have. Let's unmute everyone and give a big Haribol to Shyamsundar Prabhu for giving wonderful class. And
Not required, not required.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Haribol. All glory to Shyamsundar.
I want to offer my humble obeisances. Very well. I want to offer my humble obeisances at the dusk of the wonderful Columbus Yatra. And maybe with your blessing, I may continue.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhu.
I may take your leave now.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna devotees, thank you all for joining. We will end our call here today. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.